I told a guy that I liked him, and he said he liked me as a sister, and I was like, okay, I know, I know, but I was like, okay, sounds good, and
You're listening to Inside Young Minds, the podcast exploring the thoughts, fears, and hopes of today's youth. Let's dive in. As I always say, welcome again to Inside Young Minds. And today we're talking on a topic that's very broad. We're talking on how to handle rejection. And this topic is very broad because this is not just about being heartbroken, being rejected in a family. It's all rejection in general. It can be at work, your friends, or on social media. And so today I'm not by myself. I have a guest. And so I'll let her introduce herself. Please, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
my name is Josefina. What else do I
I guess that's enough.
Yeah.
You don't have to say too much as long as... But anyways, thank you for being here. We're glad to have you here. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this. But like I said, we're going to dive deep and see what rejection is and how we can handle it. Because I know that it's very hard for most of us to actually understand rejection. Because most of the time, people, when they get rejected, they feel like it's the end of the world. They're not enough, or the world is against them. The question I want to ask you, what's rejection to you? Like, when you think about rejection, what is it that comes to your mind?
See, when I was thinking about rejection, I was thinking of being rejected by people, by in a relationship or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, it can be in a relationship. It can be family. It can be friends. And yes, mostly it's going to be about being rejected by someone who you're trying to be in a relationship with, because that's mostly what everyone knows about. So, what's your take on that? What is your view?
I feel like it's scary when you're thinking about it, but what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna suck it up and keep going.
Right. I mean, rejection is a big thing to most people.
Is.
Because there are people, if you reject someone, the next thing they're gonna think about is, I'm not good enough.
Oh yeah.
And
Definitely.
when someone starts to think that they're not good enough, I think their world starts to go upside down, and then now they don't know what to do with their lives. And that's where depression starts to some people. And other people try to do things that are going to make them forget, So in your own opinion, what do you think someone should do in order for them to be able to understand what rejection is? And how to take it. If you were to be rejected by someone, what is the first thing you would want to do?
Okay, I feel like for sure you have to be really confident. You have to be very confident in order to even get into the place where you're willing to ask somebody anything that where you're gonna get a no. So you have to know your worth, so that even if that person says no, it doesn't bring you, it's gonna be sad, but it doesn't bring you to a place where you're doing terrible things. You still know your worth even after that, and your worth is still there out there.
It's hard to have that confidence after being rejected. But like you said, yes, you gotta have a lot of confidence to even think about talking to someone about something that's gonna get you rejected, possibly. So that's a big thing. So a question I want to ask, for you, has there been one rejection that stuck to you, and something you remember very clearly?
Yes. There has. Relationship wise or job wise? Which one do you want?
Whichever one you feel comfortable sharing. Honestly. I mean, it could be relationship, because I feel like you said that's the one you were thinking about the most. So
it was in high school. When I was in high school, I mean, I'm still very confident, but I was very bold. Like, I was not shy to do anything. So I told a guy that I liked him, and he said he liked me as a sister, and I was like, okay. I know. I know. But I was like, okay, sounds good. And I didn't feel sad or anything. I was perfectly fine.
Really?
Oh,
You
yeah,
didn't
I
have
was perfectly fine.
you didn't have any like mixed emotions in that moment?
I was embarrassed. But I moved on. Like, I moved on from that guy and on to the next, in high school.
Yeah. No time to waste.
Exactly.
But yeah, you know what? I think I didn't think that would be a kind of thing that most like a girl would face.
Oh, yeah.
Because guys usually are the ones who would go ask a girl out and then they'll be like, I see you as a brother. And then, oh my gosh. That's when you start to think to yourself, what was I even thinking? You know? Like, and then there are those who go as far as telling you you're not even worth it to be with.
You're not worth it? Dang.
Yeah.
People are rude.
And you know what? People are rude, but it's the world we live in. And I don't think it's going to change anytime because I feel like most people expect change, but they don't want to be the change themselves. So confidence wise, when that happened to you, what happened to your confidence? Like, walk us through, like, what is it that went through your mind, and then how did it shift your confidence? Because you said you've always been a confident person.
Yeah.
In that moment, how did it affect you?
I feel like you get humbled.
Yeah.
And I think from then on, I still did it. I still did it another time, but that's just because I feel like a lot of like rejection, at least rejection, it doesn't bring me down. And in high school, I was like up here. I was so high. I was like very bold with everything. Like, there was no one I couldn't talk to. There was no one that I couldn't say anything to. Yeah, I've come down. I've come down. I'm no longer crazy.
You know what? I think most people, when they get rejected, especially let's say it's your first time to get rejected, you're like really, really down.
Yeah.
In that moment, you don't know what to do. Your confidence goes from 100 to 0. And then you're like, what just happened to me, But it's something that's going to happen. It's almost the same as like success. You're never going to be successful until you fail or something. At some point, you got to fail in order for you to move forward. But, back then, let's say when you were in high school, I know social media was still a thing, but it wasn't as crazy as it is now, I don't think. Because I think the time you were in high school, those were the times I was in high school as well. And for me, I didn't even care about social media back then. But nowadays, yeah, it's the norm. Yeah. Everyone is using social media and all that. So do you think rejection hits harder now than before because of, social media and all that?
Definitely. I think so. Like, today you're going to see, like, people on social media posting about how a guy got rejected. Like videoing people's rejections and posting it. That's terrible. And now, like, you have to worry about how the whole world thinks about your rejection. Yes, it's definitely worse. You see, back then you get rejected and like maybe your friends heard it and that's it.
Go in your room and cry.
Yeah, exactly. But now it's like you get rejected and the whole world might know. And it's like, whoop.
Now it's very rare for someone to be rejected and only a few people know. Now if you get rejected, it's like everyone on Instagram knows you got rejected.
Exactly.
And then now you don't have anywhere to look. It's like you talk to people or they will see you somewhere and they'll be like, that's the person that got rejected. This and this. And I feel like this makes people now want to go outside a lot of times because they feel as though they're going to be judged by the world, which happens more often than not. Okay, so some rejections can feel personal to people, and they're definitely personal. But, a personal rejection, like a rejection of a relationship, is not the same as being rejected on a job unless if this is your dream career and then you got rejected, then that's gonna hit you hard. But if it's just like you applied for a job that, just because you don't have a job and they reject you, it's not gonna feel the same as, someone asking you out and then it goes sideways. So why do you think rejection feels so personal now, even when it's not really about like you?
How is rejection not about you? The person doesn't want you.
Yes, it's true. The person doesn't want you, But for example, let's say your best friend gets rejected. That's going to feel personal to you as well, because you're going to be like, now when she's sad, at some point you're going to be sad about it too. But so why do you think that becomes so personal for someone, even though they're not the ones who got rejected?
I just feel like, especially if it's someone you care about, like you care about their feelings. So like seeing them sad makes you sad. So like you wouldn't want to see your mom like sad, rejected, like and I feel like as you get older, you kind of not get used to it, but you're numb to it.
It's like you have learned.
Yeah, you've learned, and like it doesn't bring you down as much unless you didn't learn. Unless you didn't learn and you just, everything puts you up here and it heightens your emotions. I think that as you get older, it's like you learn how to handle it better.
Sometimes we don't learn. You might be able to learn from one rejection and then not be able to learn from the next. But as I say, if you're wise enough, you should be learning from your first one. But rejection is rejection. It's going to happen regardless. Even Jesus got rejected. So I don't know. So do you think people sometimes connect rejection to their self-worth?
I definitely think so. Like if somebody has been rejected a couple times, like let's say in a row, you're gonna feel like, okay, what's wrong with me? Like, what am I doing? Oh, am I not wearing good enough? Am I not looking good enough? And I think that's sad because like you might be in the wrong area, or you might be looking at the same type of people, and those people might not be for you. So
and sometimes when you get rejected, it's not because you're not good looking. It's just because maybe that person is just not for you, So, and yes, the reason I asked if people, connect rejection to their self-worth is because most of the time when people get rejected, the first thought is, I'm not good enough. So they start to look at themselves and be like, okay, maybe I'm really not good enough. And like you say, if you get rejected, let's say 3 times in a row, I don't know how that happens. But if that does happen, I feel like you're never going to try again.
Hey, it depends on the person. Depends on the person. If they're like, this doesn't faze me every time, then they're definitely going to try again. But I think they should stop because 3 is crazy.
I think if you get rejected 3 times in a row and you can keep going, you are literally the strongest person that's possibly ever lived. Because take some time off. Because I feel like that's too much. Take
some time off.
I feel like even if you're rejected, let's say once, and then you try again, and then it happens again, okay. I think you start to question your whole existence. It's no longer about like, why did they reject me? It's more about, am I okay? So you start to have so many thoughts running at you from different directions. So you personally, you mentioned to have been a very confident person since high school, So how do you personally like separate your value from rejection, from being rejected? Or to put it in better words, how do you separate your value from someone else's opinions? Let's put it that way.
Ooh, Dang. I feel like I find my self-confidence in different things than everybody. Like, I used to be very, like, I was confident, but I was, like, very, I have to dress a certain way to not, like, to, like, cover myself a certain way. I don't know. But I was confident in certain areas and then, like, very insecure in other areas. And I feel like it takes self-love, like learning how to actually love yourself no matter people's opinions, no matter what people have to say about you, no matter, like, even if it's someone close to you, like, it doesn't matter what they have to say, because at the end of the day, you are gonna live with you forever. You are not gonna live with that person forever. So you have to be able to love yourself,
regardless of what other people think.
Regardless of what other people think. It's just, yeah, your opinion is what matters the most. And yes, the people around you are gonna shape who you are, but I feel like it starts inward. You have to love yourself first and be able to find your own identity before, you know, you make the opinions of others shape you.
That's okay. That's solid because, yeah, self-love should always be the priority, you know. And you mentioned that even if it's someone close to you, that's a very close one because, you know, I think especially in family, you know, like if your family member has a very strong opinion about you that's not so positive, I think you take it harder than you would take it if it was from someone outside, because that's literally your family member.
Yeah.
So you feel like they're pulling you backwards, you know? And separating values from people's opinions is, okay, for me, I feel like if you reject me, it's more about you than me.
Really?
Yes, let me tell you why. I feel like it's more about you than me because maybe you saw something you didn't like, right? In me, right? But I don't really know that, right? And now, although I'm questioning myself, now I know more about me than you know about me, obviously. And everyone has this one, you know, opinion about their own self, you know? And I feel like if I'm here thinking, okay, why did this person reject me, you know? And then you're here saying, let's say you reject me and because you think, okay, he's not good looking enough. Okay. And now my confidence tells me otherwise, you know, like, okay, I'm good looking, you know, and then you're telling that to yourself, but someone else is rejecting you because they think you're not good looking, right? That's their opinion. They think you're not good looking. You think you're good looking. And so, like you said, your opinion matters more than their opinion, right? And I feel most of the time when people get rejected, they shouldn't be dwelling on, I'm not good enough. Rather, I'm not suitable for that person. Because one person rejecting you tomorrow doesn't mean someone else is going to reject you again. Unless we're talking about you being rejected three times again. three times in a row. But I don't know. But I feel like we face rejection from young age, you know, teenage years, adulthood. I think rejection is there from when you're born till you die. So how do you think rejection at a young age differs from when you're a bit older?
I feel like when you're young, like, well, it depends. Like, is it your first rejection?
Right.
Or is it like your 9th rejection? Oh my gosh, that's a lot. These numbers. But
you
like,
might as well be single forever. But
like if it's your first rejection, and especially like you're trying to find who you are, and I think a lot of young people, like they're shaped by the people around them, you know, like they take the opinions of like their classmates and like the kids who they hang out with a lot, like I feel like to a high standard. So I feel like the rejection is it hits a lot harder when you're younger.
Oh, okay.
No, when you're younger.
Okay.
When you're younger, because like your self-worth feels like it comes from
the validation of those around you.
Exactly. Validation of the people around you. So especially with today and social media, like if a kid gets rejected and it gets posted, I don't know how they'll recover. I don't know how they could recover from that, because that's a law, and now that's like the whole world's opinion on it, not even just your classmates, other students.
I mean, I think you might find a few people in the comment section who are defending you, being like, you know what, you shouldn't have done that. But they're not really saying that, like they shouldn't have rejected you. They're just saying it shouldn't have done in a way that it was done,
I mean, I think you're gonna find even like positive comments as well, but I feel like you're gonna definitely see the negative comments more. Not that they're gonna be more negative comments, that you're gonna feel them more. Yes,
because you're gonna pay attention to those ones more than the positive ones. Because like the positive ones are telling you, okay, don't listen to what they're saying, you're good enough. That's like assurance, right? But someone telling you, okay, she deserved it or he deserved it. Okay, now you're thinking to yourself, I just want to disappear, So it hurts so much more. But so why do you think? Because you did say it hurts so much more at a young age.
Yeah.
What do you think makes it less, hurtful when you're older?
When you're older?
Yeah.
Well, like I feel like you've already gone through it. It's like if you're still hurt about like something that you've experienced over time, it's like you should be somewhat used to it. Like you should be able to be strong about it. Well, it depends on how old you are. If you're 50, please. If you're 50, ma'am, sir, whoever you are, you need to pick up your big girl pants and keep going. Because, like, that's life. Like, you get rejected, you can't take it as personal anymore. Like, when you're younger, you're still learning about it. But you're a lot older. You should be able to
understand that it's part of the journey.
That it's it's part of the journey. You just gotta...
that's true, because I feel like at a young age, you're just learning and learning and learning. So when you get rejected or you get hit by something so negative, you think about it so much more, because you don't really know what's going on. You're just trying to figure yourself out as time goes on. But as you get older, you get an experience, whether it's in losing or winning. You get an experience whether you want to or not. And so as you grow older, you should already have some experience, because it's part of life. You should already know that rejection is part of life. It's going to happen regardless. Whether it's in a relationship or a work or family, this is something that's going to happen. So definitely rejection when you're older, it feels a bit part of life, but when you're younger, you feel like you're being attacked from different, angles, because you don't really know what's happening or what's going on. So, so going forward, do you think the fear of rejection stops people from even trying at all? Because it is a big thing.
It definitely is. I think that it can really hinder you.
Yeah.
Like, it can really hinder your progress if you don't know how to, like, deal with it. If you get anxiety to the point where, like, you get anxious and, like, you get panic, that's crazy. Like, it's gonna be very hard for you to get out of that place and to handle it enough to feel comfortable and confident enough to, like, okay, I'll be rejected. The worst thing they can say is no. I can try again somewhere else. I can try again with someone else.
That's the thing, though. Sometimes you're like, the worst that they can say is no, and then they they do so much more than that. They do so much more than that. So, like, okay. So I think, yes, people tend to not do things because they feel like they're going to be rejected. So they fear facing the world, while they're rejected. And you can't blame them with this social media thing. Literally everything you do is going to be on social media, especially if you do one little bad thing. Everyone is gonna know about it. Everyone is gonna judge you.
If it was recorded.
Well, even if it's not recorded, if you get rejected when I'm there, right?
Yeah.
And I'm a person who can just send it to other people and go tell other people this person got rejected. The next thing you're gonna hear is 25 other people talking about you getting rejected. So I don't know, things go around so much more now, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
and even if like they don't have the video, they'll do like a story time and like you're like, yep, that was me.
Yeah, and then hearing yourself in a story, not knowing how that story happened or who made that story in the first place.
Yeah.
Like you just got rejected. Somebody just said no to you, but the next thing you hear is it's like they're writing a book about you, and so that can be very draining. So okay, let's see if there are ways that people can turn, let's say, rejection into growth. Like for you, has there been a time where you got rejected but you were like, okay, maybe this is not so bad? You got rejected, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That story that I told you, first of all, I got rejected, but like I'm looking back now, I'm like, I'm actually really glad because I don't feel like me and the person would have been
worked out.
Our values didn't align, so I definitely feel like I'm glad that
it was the
that
teenager
didn't work out. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I went through that. I feel like it built up my confidence. Nothing. Well, I was gonna say nothing can tear me down, but I have sad moments. But just I feel like it's made me a lot stronger.
Yes.
And I can handle a lot more, Yeah.
No, I think rejection doesn't always have to be a bad thing because it's gonna build your character. As like you said, when you get rejected, you might be down for a while, but like when you start to think about it, you're like, okay, maybe I wasn't even thinking straight in the first place. But definitely, like, you can get rejected and then it turns out to be a good thing. Like, there are people who get rejected on a job and then a better job calls tomorrow.
Exactly.
You get rejected by this person, tomorrow you're with a way better person that suits your values, that goes with what you believe in. So it doesn't always, in the moment, it's a negative thing. But once you calm down, you can realize that it's not really so bad. Okay, so for people out there, if someone would ask you, like, how can you mentally flip rejection into motivation?
Oh, into motivation?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's easy. I feel like a lot of people do it today. Like, you see someone broke up with them, which is a rejection. Someone broke up with them and now, like, they look great. Like, like, they turned their life around. They got better. They lost weight if they needed to lose weight. They're taking care of themselves better, So I feel like a lot of people, there are a certain amount of people who are able to like turn that into motivation. You know what? I'm gonna change my life around. I'm not gonna wait for this guy. Or like even with jobs, like they work to get the skills they need to get an even better job. Right. And now it looks like a blessing in disguise. I could have gotten that job, but
I have a better
it motivated me. This rejection motivated me to work harder and gain more skills and become better so that I can be a CEO instead of just an associate. So
you know what? that is true. And that's that's the one I was saying, like, you can get rejected, but it can turn out to be a good thing. Because when you said some people look great after breakup, I thought of a bunch of guys, because guys, when they get rejected, the first thing they do is go to the gym and they work out like they're crazy in that moment,
No, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's because you want to make the person feel bad
Yeah.
for what they did.
You know what?
Well, hey.
It definitely turns into fuel. You know, it helps you like get motivated and do more things that you wouldn't even do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes when there are people who you're with and then you're not even able to do things that benefit you, you know, you might be able to go on a run every now and then, you know, but once you're out of a relationship, now this is not every relationship because there are toxic relationships and there are healthy relationships. You know, when you get out of a bad relationship, the first thing you do is say, okay, I need to focus on myself more. You know, whether you're a guy or a girl, you start to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
As for guys, like I said, they go to the gym.
What do you think girls do?
Girls?
Yeah.
I think there's some girls, I don't know if they go to the gym, but I think, I'm not a girl, so obviously I don't know, but I think girls, most likely they'll get closer to their friends, you know, and then build healthier relationships some way.
Wow.
I would think, but I don't know. You're a girl, you tell us.
Well, yeah, I may be a girl, but I haven't gotten out of a unhealthy relationship. I wouldn't know. I mean, if like a girl gets out of a relationship where they started gaining weight, they might lose weight. If they started like letting go of themselves, they might start like taking care of themselves better. Like I've seen a trend on like social media where me during my boyfriend, before him and after him.
Yeah.
Wait, before? No, during him and after him.
Okay.
Yeah.
With him and without him.
Exactly. Sorry,
Okay.
I was trying to find the words.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's like the after him always like they're always looking good. Like so like models. I'm like, this is not teaching us anything good. And I feel like it just puts in people's minds that every relationship is bad and people look better when they're out of relationship. And especially like people start working harder once they're out of relationships than when they're in them, because they kind of get like comfortable and they're like, oh, they like me the way I am, and they're not motivated anymore to like continue like either what they had before or what they could have. Now that they're out of the relationship, now they showed that they had way more potential. So it's like, yeah.
Sometimes it can be misleading, honestly. It can be misleading. But definitely, I think people do different things to move on from something.
Yeah.
You know, when you're rejected, like I said, you might go to the gym. You might.
Do you know someone who went to the gym?
You might go to the gym. You might start traveling more.
Oh, yeah.
You might do other things that make you so happy. You know, things that you wouldn't be able to do with someone else, you start to do them. So you become a bit more happier. But it doesn't necessarily mean that when you're with someone, you're not happy, you know? Because I think healthy relationships, when you're in a healthy relationship, you're happy. Most of these things that, you know, lead to people doing things that they wouldn't do, mostly it's not even them getting out of a relationship. It's more of, I was rejected, so I want to prove them wrong. Rather than, okay, I just got out of a relationship, so I need to look better for this. And when that happens too, is because although they just got out of a relationship, they want to show the person who just got out of a relationship with them that they're better without them. You know, that's... But yeah. So do you believe that rejection can redirect you towards something better, or do you think this is something that people just say to make you feel better in that moment?
I think it can. Like for me, okay, so I feel like we haven't talked about it yet, but there is like friendship rejection where you feel rejected by your friends, and if it constantly happens, you kind of feel, especially like if you guys were close,
right,
that can cause as much harm as like relationship rejection. and I feel like it can cause even more harm than like you ask somebody out and
them rejecting you.
Yeah, them rejecting you. Cause so for me, I've had those experiences, but I feel like it drew me closer to God. Right. Because God is always there for you. God will always be there for you.
Yep.
And you can always lean on him. But sometimes sometimes there are certain relationships where you feel like you're great, like we're on top of the world, and then the other person turns it around and like they hurt you, they humble you.
Yeah, they humble you.
Right, they bring you to earth.
Yeah.
And this can happen in friendships, relationships, siblings, parents. Well, I haven't experienced the siblings and parents, but
there
with
are people out there who experience
it's out there, and I feel like definitely it can redirect you to something better if you're seeking for something better. If you're just gonna decide that, I'm not saying that depression is a decision, but if you're gonna decide to keep yourself in like where you're at or in this low moment, and you're gonna decide you don't want to heal from it, then it's not gonna redirect you. And if you let it control your mind and your thoughts and everything, it could consume you. And then that's when it starts leading to like depression and like you're constantly sad. But if you're like, okay, I've been rejected, even though it really hurts, I'm gonna try my best to heal. I'm gonna do the work to get out of this state and do better and heal, to be stronger.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, that was a long answer.
No, actually, thank you for sharing that. That's very big, and I feel anybody who's listening should listen to that more, because I feel like it gives you an insight on that part. But I think it can depend on you personally, because sometimes your friends will come and say, hey, it's okay, you find something better, this and this. In that moment, they're obviously trying to make you feel okay. But the decision is still yours. You can either decide to stay in that state or move on. And you can always move to something better if you're willing to work, But if you're just going to sit there, then like you said, that's where depression comes from, because you don't want to work on yourself. You're dwelling so much on the past rather than trying to move on. So, thank you for sharing that. Something similar to this. How do you decide to move on versus, keeping on trying?
Move on?
Let's say someone broke your heart. Right? How do you decide to move on rather than to keep trying?
I think focusing on something else, definitely. Like, lean on your friends. If you need support from the people around you, that's when it's great to have a good support system. Right. Because, and people who aren't going to judge you for crying, and people who aren't going to judge you for talking about it constantly. Because once you come out of either heartbreak or someone has rejected you, a job has rejected you, I feel like you're gonna need that space to vent and tell people how you feel, and people aren't gonna get tired of you. But you're also gonna need people who are gonna say, okay, here's what we're gonna do, here's how we're gonna get through it after they've heard how you feel. They've given you enough time to be like, okay, this is how I feel, this is hurting, this, that. And they're willing to help you pick up and find better.
That's right. I think, yes, deciding to move on in that moment can be very difficult, obviously. But, in that moment, the decision you make is very important. You can decide to get a hobby, go hiking, hang out with your friends more, so that you're not alone. Because when you're alone, while you have just been through that, you can end up harming yourself, or that's when you can you can start to go in a depression mode, because you're just by yourself, nobody to console you over there. But when you're with your friends, you tend to even forget about it, because, hey, it happened, but at least now, I'm with other people and I don't have to think about it too much. Although I feel like that can be avoidance and avoiding to go through it. But I feel it's better to not be alone most of the time,
Yeah.
or do something.
Yeah.
Don't just sit around and be like, okay, it happened. I don't know what to do. I just want that person back, this and this. Just try to move on, do something that's going to make you happy and try to increase your esteem and all that. Okay, I have a few more questions,
Yeah.
and then we'll be done. And okay, when rejection happens, do you think that people should find people to talk to about it, or do you think like they should just be able to focus on it alone?
I don't think people should be alone. Unless you're very strong, like really, really strong person, and you have strong will. I don't think anybody should be alone. I think people should find their support system, and the people around them should be able to support them and be there for them, as they would do the same thing for you when you need it. So I feel like being alone is when you're crying in bed all day and like you don't go out and see the sunlight. And it just, I've heard, I don't know if I've seen or have heard. I can't remember, but
either one is fine.
You're right. Getting a hug from someone, like it feels great, and it also like reassures that bond, and it makes you feel better. So yeah, I think like having people who are gonna hug you and lift you up and pick you up when you need it, that's gonna be so important in those times, because you're like, sometimes for some people that's their lowest moment.
Yes.
So they need someone who's gonna bring them back up, and having those friendships, siblings who like are willing to do that for you can make a big difference in how like this turns out.
You're right. And one thing I want to add, though, is you have to be careful on the people you share that
definitely.
with. Because there are people who you're going to tell, and the next thing you're going to hear is other people talking about it.
Yeah.
And then there are those who you're going to tell, and all they want to do is be there for you.
Yeah.
Make sure you're okay. And if you have those kind of people in your life, keep them around because they're worth it. By the time you're on your lowest, they're there for you. They're there to comfort you and be there for you and let you know that it's okay. Everything ends eventually.
Yeah.
Nothing lasts forever. And when you have those people who can, be there for you and, like you said, give you a little hug, because I know that in that moment when you're there, you have someone there to comfort you, it feels so much better than if you're by yourself. Because there's someone there who's telling you, I'm here and I care.
Yeah.
So if you have that person, definitely keep them around, because those are the type of people there. Those people are important, and those are angels. Angels. But okay. What is one thing, though, do you think that someone shouldn't do right after being rejected? Because there are people who do things that they shouldn't be doing.
Please don't go to a bar. Don't start drinking, because I feel like that's where you just don't take impulsive decisions. Like think 1,000 times before you do anything. Sending that text, think 1,000 times before you send that text. I feel like when you're high on emotions, take 10 minutes, not longer, to think about everything that you do. Like whether it's going out with friends, think about that, like, and especially if like let's say your friends are not good influence, think 1,000 times before you go out, especially if your emotions are really heightened, because you might do something that you won't like to do, or you might get peer pressure. Exactly. Don't impulsively do.
That's true. Make sure, like, at that moment, make sure you take your time. Take your time. If you need to breathe. Okay. If you want to breathe 1,000 times, do it. But don't make decisions based on that moment. Right at that moment. Take your time, calm down, And I wouldn't like to be told to calm down in that moment, but
That's true.
calm down, because you need to calm down. Because if you don't, you might end up making impulsive decisions. You may end up making decisions that are not going to benefit you later, and they're going to make you regret it.
Yeah.
So calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think people should be giving themselves time to feel, or just push?
Feel?
Yeah. To feel the rejection, or do you think it's okay to push through it very fast?
I think it's very important to take time to like feel it and like, okay, this is how I feel. I accept it and I let it go.
Right.
To definitely feel the emotions, and like that's why I said like venting to your friends, tell them how you feel.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you're talking about it, you're starting to let it go, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I definitely feel like it's important to let someone feel the feelings. Because if you're not feeling it now, you will feel it later when something triggers those emotions, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it's important to feel, because in that moment, like when it happens, and then you just like, it's okay. It happened and it happened.
Yeah.
And then you start to try to comfort yourself without actually thinking about it. Especially if, like, let's say you just got out of a relationship. It's important that you take your time to heal, because if you say, okay, I'm going to go through it, and then, 24 hours later, you're ready to date again.
Date again.
That's
date again is
people,
crazy.
There are people who this happened to, and the next day they're already
fine.
dating. They're fine. I don't know if
fine?
they're dating, but they're fine. But one thing I can tell you though is that if you move on from it very fast, it's gonna hit you later.
Yeah.
And when it hits you, trust me,
it's gonna be worse because it's been like bottled up.
Yeah.
And now it's pow.
All that emotions, by the time it decides to come out all at once, you're gonna wish you took that time.
Yeah.
So take your time. Don't feel like you have to rush anything. Yeah. Okay. So we're closing, and I want you to give some people some advice.
Me?
Yeah. Yes, you.
Oh my God, I'm not good at advice.
Yeah, you gotta give some people some advice. So for someone, let's say, for someone who feels like rejection means they're not enough, what would you say to them?
I don't think, okay, so rejection is not really, it's not the end of the world. You're going to see that the world is going to keep going.
Yeah.
So feel it, go through it if you need to. And like, if you need to talk about it. But find a way, whatever you need to do in order to get out of this space.
Yeah.
Find that and do it. Unless it's like drinking or self-harming, I wouldn't say do that, but I'm talking about healthy ways to get out of this sadness. Just find it, and you need to build up your self-esteem. You need to build up your self-worth, self-love, self-confidence.
Yeah.
So that like if this happens again, or whether it's happened or it's going to happen,
3 times
you're
in
strong.
a row.
3 times.
But no, for someone obviously who feels like rejection makes them feel like they're not enough, don't feel that way, because believe it or not, almost everyone has been rejected before. And if we all felt that way, I don't know where we would be. If being rejected in any way makes you feel like you're not enough, just think of it this way. It was just not the right opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Something better for you will come. So don't think that because this person rejected you or this job let you go is because you weren't good enough. Maybe it's because they were looking for something different, So move on from it and keep going. There's better for you ahead. How can young people build resilience when they face rejection over and over again, like it was?
Like the 3 times?
Yeah, like the 3 times. How can someone build resilience? Like become more stronger.
Isn't it from, that. Hey.
I don't even know what that means.
Like, meaning you go through it again and again,
yes.
So learning to like building everything in life is like you have to build it up. You have to build it up. Confidence, new skills, you have to build it up. So find whatever you need to find in order to build that resilience to those things. Learning about yourself. If it's learning about yourself, then learn about yourself so that you know where your identity lies, so that those things don't phase you. Like you know who you are, no matter whether you get rejected or you win. And you don't lose yourself whether you win or you get rejected.
That's perfectly put. Yes, I think in order for you to build resilience, you always have to go through things like this. And when something like this happens, yes, remind yourself rejection is part of the journey. That's what I always say. You're going to be rejected, whether it's in a relationship or business or something. It's not more about, how it happens. It's what you learn from it.
Yeah.
If you learn, you have to learn that it's part of the journey. And as you keep facing this rejection, there's going to come a time where you'll find something better, So don't feel like, okay, maybe I've been rejected too much, so it's not worth it to try again. I'm talking business-wise. If you've been rejected too many times in a relationship.
Are you talking
I'm
from
not
experience?
saying I don't have any experience personally.
With rejection?
Maybe 1 or 2. But hey, I don't know. But I think just know that it's part of the journey, So don't think about it too much. But do you think learning how to handle rejection makes you emotionally stronger?
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah. You have to be emotionally strong to be able to handle rejection, whether it's a job.
Yeah.
You have to be emotionally intelligent in order to not do something crazy if you get rejected in the first place. So yeah, I definitely think that it not only builds your character, but it makes you stronger. And if you truly learn from it, it makes you emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, definitely. You asked me, am I speaking from experience? For me, business-wise, maybe 1,000,000 times already. But what I have learned is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As long as I know what I want and what I'm chasing, whether I get rejected or not, it's part of a learning process. So I think, yes, learning how to handle rejection definitely makes you stronger emotionally because you start to become also self-aware.
Yeah.
And when you're self-aware, you make better decisions, And so it gives you give your thoughts a time to process as well, So yes, it does make you emotionally stronger because it teaches you so much about yourself as well in the process. Last question. So we can wrap this up. What is one quote or mindset a mindset shift that helps you move forward after you face rejection? And like I said, this doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be any type of rejection. What is a quote that you look up to or a motivation? Yes.
I have one.
You have one? Okay. Let us hear it.
It's actually from the Bible.
Right.
It says, "No weapon formed against me shall prosper."
Amen to that.
Yep. No matter what, even if I get rejected, I will be fine because God is taking care of me. God is working it out for my good, so I will be perfectly fine. Nothing formed against me shall prosper. No business deal that might go wrong shall prosper. Nothing.
No.
Because I got the Most High taking care of me.
It's not the end of the world.
Exactly. It's not the end of the world.
I've been a person who's always wanted to own my own business. Right?
How are you doing so far?
I'm okay. I'm still pushing. I'm still pushing. Not everything is not always rosy.
Yeah.
But there's good days and bad days. But one thing I've learned is that it's better to learn from failing than to be scared of failing. Because every time you fail, you learn something new. Whether this is about yourself or about something you're doing wrong. That's one thing that I look up to. is every time something goes wrong, there's always something to learn.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it be positive or negative, because you might learn that, okay, I did this wrong, and then maybe next time I should do it a certain way.
Yeah.
You know? So for me, I think.
Unless you're insane.
Unless you're crazy, yes.
Yeah.
Unless you're crazy. So, anyways, I think that's enough. But for anyone listening, thank you for listening, and I hope you took something out of this, because this was a very long conversation, and personally, I learned things from this, and so I hope for those who are watching also learn something from it. And as always, here we explore the thoughts
of young people,
fears, and everything about young people.
Period.
So thank you so much for being with us, and always, you guys, go subscribe, okay? Watch on YouTube. Find us on Instagram as well. It's going to be inside_young minds. You can find us over there where you can see. But as always, keep on growing, and thank you so much for being with us today. All right?
Go follow me on my Instagram.
Yeah.
Yoso_Bella.
If you want
That's
your
my
hair
main.
done.
But my hair page is Yoso X braids. Sorry. Yoso X braids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if they can find your Instagram, they should be able to find the hair page as well.
Yeah, it's all linked. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what to do. Go and check her out. Also, check out Instagram and check us out. But we'll see you in the next episode. And as always, keep on growing. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching or listening to Inside Young Minds. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow and share it with someone else who might need it. You can also find us on Instagram at inside_young minds for updates and behind the scenes. Now, there's new episodes every week. But until next time, take care of yourself and keep on growing.